Happy lunch hour, gang. All right, we're preppers, right? That means we get ready for things before everybody else does. We have the foresight to make sure that when disaster hits, we're not caught unprepared. So let's take a look at what's going on in the Atlantic right now. Last night, around 6 o'clock, we had Tropical Storm Beryl in the Atlantic. Last night, it was a Category 1 hurricane late last night. This morning, it's a Category 2 hurricane. And now, forecasters say it could be a Category 4 hurricane this week. Now, let me give you this. In recorded history, ever since we've been able to follow these things, there have only been 5 Category 3 plus hurricanes in the Atlantic ever before the 1st of July. Granted, today's June 30th. If this thing ramps up to a Cat 4 like it's expected to, though within a couple of days, it would be the first ever Cat 4 in June. So this is a serious storm. This is a big storm. Now, if you take a look at this will show you what the current path of the storm is. And taking a look at it, okay, it looks like it's going to go right across if we take a look at this here, what would we say? It's going to cross over Jamaica and potentially slam right into the Yucatan Peninsula, okay? Which everybody says, all right, no big deal unless I live in Cancun or Cozumel or something like that, unless I've got a vacation planned down there this week, not a big deal. However, if we take a look at this graph, okay, this shows the potential path for Hurricane Beryl. Now, there's a lot of it that shows it slams into Mexico, into Central America, whole 9 yards. There's also a couple of paths on there that cross over Cuba and then all of a sudden hit the panhandle of Florida. If it manages to thread the needle between Cuba and the Yucatan, then that makes a beeline for the coast of Texas and Louisiana. Even if it does just hit the tips of the Yucatan, now it hits southern Texas. Nobody knows which way it's going to go. We've all seen hurricanes in the past. But I want you to remember this. What's out there in the Gulf? Oh, there's a lot of oil platforms. Okay, we can remember movies of them being destroyed. If you're a prepper, which I'm hoping everybody on this channel is, and not just watching for my glowing personality and snarky remarks, it might be worthwhile this week to go check, if you live in the Gulf Coast anywhere, your hurricane preps and make sure you've got everything. Whether it's water, anything to board up your windows, sandbags, whatever you need. You got a week, right? Plenty of time. If you don't live in the Gulf Coast, this might be a good time to go, if you haven't already, top off your fuel tanks. Because you can bet if this thing does make a right turn and starts heading up into the Gulf to hit us, gas prices are going up. Even if nothing gets hit, okay? You know we'll hear the stories, oh, well, production had to stop, or exploration had to stop, drilling had to stop, yada, yada, yada. You know, just what we need. We don't have anything in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve that Biden can release because he's already done all that because he wanted to influence gas prices. If you need to buy anything, construction material, if you need to buy wood, if plywood, 2x4s, whatever it would be, it might be worth getting them now, because you can bet if this thing turns north, that all of a sudden all those shipments that were supposed to come to your store in Omaha are now going down to Laredo or Houston or Biloxi or New Orleans or Jacksonville or wherever if they get hit. And of course, what will happen? The prices of everything will go up. Depending on what happens here, could mean a whole lot of difference in how much money is going to be vacuumed out of your pocket by the hardware store, the insurance company, the gas company, whomever. Okay. If it does go hit Louisiana, as one of the paths say here, New Orleans, then we have more problems with the Mississippi than what I was talking about a few days ago with all the flooding going on up in Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, that whole area. So now you got the north end of the river having problems and feasibly the south end of the river. If that shuts down the Mississippi River completely, now you can talk about food all over the place going up. Because if it can't get shipped down the river, and what did I tell you, something like 160 million tons of food come down the river, or no, 160 million tons worth of goods, and it was just under 100 million tons of food come down the river. If that happens, again, I know these are all ifs. That's what we prep for, the just in cases. The hurricane could completely fizzle out right over the Yucatan, and that could be it, and we don't see anything for it. Are you willing to bet on it? Do you want to be one of those people who next Saturday morning is going, oh my God, the hurricane's going to hit this afternoon. Let me run to Home Depot and go get myself some 2x4s and some plywood. We don't have any water, honey. What do we do? Right? If you're down there, prepare like this is going to hit you. Most of you probably already do. Okay? But it's a good time to go double check your preps. We're at the beginning of hurricane season. If you're not down there, maybe it's time to go take a look at, gee, if this does happen, what could feasibly happen to me? Right? That's the whole point of doing all this, is that when something comes up that's unexpected, not that you could really say hurricanes are unexpected, we get them every year, okay, that you're ready for it. Let me ask you, have you checked the batteries in your flashlights lately? If you got alkaline batteries, have you put fresh ones in? If you got rechargeable ones, have you checked to see if they're charged? Your lanterns, your lamp oil, whatever. Do you have all that stuff? Have you checked your lighters, your matches, your candles to make sure you know where they are? You know, that they didn't get wet or chewed up by mice or God knows what, okay? Things like that happen, especially if you keep it out in a garage or a shed or something. We're at the beginning of weather season. And of course, you're going to hear, I guarantee you this week, you will hear all the wackos, it's climate change, it's climate change. No, we've been having hurricanes through the Atlantic longer than recorded history, okay? You know, longer than there were gas-powered cars. Not longer than there were cow farts, sorry. You know, I mean, I guess we got to give AOC that one. If cow farts are the one responsible for climate change, well, you know, cow farts have been going on since the beginning of cows. But you'll hear all that. And again, separate the wheat from the chaff. Who gives a crap why a hurricane is coming, okay? All you know is that it is. It might hit the U.S., or if you live down in Mexico, it might hit you, okay? Or Jamaica, or Cuba, or Dominican, or Haiti, or anybody who's down in the Caribbean. Be prepared appropriately. Go check your stuff. If there's anything you know you need, like I said, if you haven't filled up gas cans, or you know you need lumber, or anything like that that could be used as material or could have a price spike, get it now. Just be on the safe side. We're not stupid. The rest of the world, I can't say that for them. But those of us who are ready, again, we'll be in good shape while the rest of the world is running around like their hair's on fire. Pinball out.